let's do this. To call the meeting of the Atoka City Council order, ask everyone to rise as we do the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you would bow with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight, God, and we just thank you for a beautiful day that we have. And God, we just lift up the families and those affected by the storms in Texas, God.
Yes,
And I just
yes.
pray, God,
Amen.
that you comfort those that only you can. And God, I just pray that we look for ways that we can help any way we can, God. And just be with us as we go through this meeting. Help us to make good decisions for our city. And tonight we lift up our friend, Mr. Turner.
Yes,
and that
yes.
you will just heal
Amen.
him, heal his body.
Yes.
And God, just give him comfort and his family too. And I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you for all joining us this evening. And at this time, would the clerk call roll, please?
Mr. Turner, Mr. Sherrill,
Here.
Ms. McGee,
Here.
Ms. Pogue, Mayor Kathy.
Here. This is the public comment time. If there's anything that's not on the posted agenda, you may address the council at this time.
Are they not on the agenda?
Did you do it under
She's gonna
C?
do public
Okay.
comment for Asita.
Okay.
Okay.
Then moving on.
Okay.
We'll move down to the business agenda. Item number 1, discussion and or action regarding approving or rejecting the minutes of the meeting of June 16th, 2025.
I recommend approving.
A second.
A motion, a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. McGee.
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill.
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 2, discussion and or action regarding accepting or rejecting the city manager's report. Mr. D-Lake, good evening. How are
Good
you, sir?
evening, everyone.
Yeah.
My report's on attachment number 2, if anyone has any questions.
I recommend approving.
A second.
Have a motion, a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill.
Yes.
Ms. McGee.
Yes.
Do I go ahead and ask Erica?
No, wait till next time.
Okay. Mr. Kathy.
Yes.
Thank you.
See you, Ms. Polk. How are you?
Yeah.
Item number 3, discussion and or action on approving or rejecting blanket purchase orders for the city of Atoka for the month of July 2025.
Those are on attachment number 3, if anyone has any questions.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion, a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill.
Yes.
Ms. McGee.
Yes.
Ms. Pogue.
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 4 will be stricken from the agenda until possibly a later time. We will revisit this at a later meeting, possibly. Item number 5, discussion and action regarding adopting and rejecting resolution number 2025-14, authorizing the application for financial assistance from the Rural Economic Action Plan, otherwise known as REAP, to assist with public works equipment upgrades. As
That
attachment 5,
is-
Mr. D-Ley?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
That's on attachment number 5, if anyone has any questions. That's a grant we put in for each year. This year, I'm putting in for a new dozer. Should we get that, we will get the funds, or usually an approval around November, and get the funds in January or February.
Does the applications?
It
does
has
that
to be
cost-
in by the end
I
of
mean, do they
this month.
cost anything for the application?
No,
or
no,
nothing?
no.
It's okay.
It's-
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
And it's for, if I didn't mention, it's for 75,000.
That's what I was gonna
Sorry.
ask, was how much was it for?
Yeah, I couldn't remember if I said that or not.
Have a motion, a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill.
Yes.
Ms. Pogue.
Yes.
Ms. McGee.
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 6, discussion and or action on approving or rejecting the purchase of a 2025 F-150 Lake Patrol Unit in the amount of $48,836.60, to be exact, from Vance Country Ford.
Yes. This is to replace the one that was in the wreck. The insurance will cover $46,390.44 of this total, and then Oklahoma City will reimburse us for the difference, which will be just a couple $1,000.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion, a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue.
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill.
Yes.
Ms. McGee.
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 7, discussion and or action to approve or reject acceptance of a quitclaim deed from the Board of Education of Atoka Public Schools District to the City of Atoka for property located in Atoka Heights Addition in Section 15, Township 2 South, and Range 11 East, Atoka County, Oklahoma.
Johnny.
This is the property where the old elementary school sets, or used to set, and
The
the
old high
football
High
field.
school?
Oh, was that high school?
Originally, yeah.
Mhm.
That's
It
where
was
we,
elementary
that's where,
school.
that's where I graduated from. Johnny.
It was elementary.
Yeah, at the
Beginning.
end, when I remember it, it was elementary
Yeah, but-
and the football field.
We'll forgive you for that one, but that's the old high school.
just
a youngster.
And the school has finally approved and executed the deed conveying
Okay.
that property to the city, and you just need to accept it, if you want it.
And
What?
mow it.
What we gonna do?
And then take it.
We are gonna have a lot of time cleaning up. Have you seen what it looks
I
like?
know, that's what I was
Oh,
thinking
God.
too, it's,
Remember I told you the other day about projects? Yeah, that's a big one.
yeah, 'cause it's all grown up
We're gonna
and,
clean it off though, and
Yeah.
it's gonna look good.
so we're just
for
gonna
you.
own a piece of
Well, I
property that
recommend
maybe we can-
approving.
Look at redeveloping into something else.
Bring
I'll
Yeah.
second.
I got some ideas.
Yeah, they're
Have a
already
motion
talking
and a
about
second.
it.
Motion and second, roll
Sorry,
call
Sorry, we get
please.
sidetracked.
They're building.
Yeah, we get sidetracked
Ms.
sometimes.
Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yep.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. We done? Okay. Item number 8, discussion and/or action to adopt ordinance number 610, approving the rezone of property located at 412 West Cedar Street, Atoka, Oklahoma, currently zoned R2 General Residential to C2 Highway Commercial, as approved by the city council meeting held on August 15th, 2022.
The meeting actually was held on August 1st. The minutes were approved on August 15th. That's where I got that date. So it was approved
got
August
you.
1st, 2022.
So who's do we have it set attachment
This is the
provided?
Henderson and the, what's the other? one?
Wendy's, is that Wendy's,
Yes.
the Barton?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, now I remember what it is.
Yeah.
So we changed it for them for highway at that time, right?
Correct.
Contingent upon them having a letter.
It was contingent upon them entering into a real estate purchase contract for the property for commercial use. They've since entered into that contract and it's ready to close, but they need this ordinance finalized
Okay.
before they can
Okay.
close on it, so.
Okay,
All right,
very good.
okay. I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Have a motion and second, roll call please.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Item number 4, discussion and/or action.
At 9.
Sorry, golly, it's been that kind of day. I looked down at the street address and this thing, so,
Alright.
I didn't notice, so it's.
hey, thanks, man, appreciate that.
Carry on.
Thanks so much. Let me try that one more time on item
It's
number
probably the one
9.
we struck.
Would we like to do item number 9? We'll do item number
I know,
9.
but I think
Okay.
4 was the one we struck.
Where's my emergency manager at back there, man? Come on, help.
You're right.
All right. Item number 9, discussion and/or action to adopt ordinance number 611, approving the rezoning of property located at 442 West Cedar Street, Atoka, Oklahoma, currently zoned R1 Single Family Residential to C2 Highway Commercial, as approved by the city council meeting held on August 15th, 2020.
Again, August 1st.
Can we do that on August, is that,
It's fine, yes.
okay,
And this is the same transaction, just a different owner.
yes,
Different owner. I thought they
The
owned,
mom.
oh,
Yeah, they had it separate.
okay.
Multiple
I-
Yeah,
parcels.
one of them owns part of it, one of them owns it.
His mom?
Henderson.
Okay. All right, I recommend approving.
I'll second.
motion and second, roll call please.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes. Now we're gonna go to item number 10, not number, right?
No, because we struck number 4.
Yeah. You're right, we did. More than once apparently now, I've gone over it a couple of times, all right. Item number 10, discussion and/or action to approve or reject an authority having jurisdiction agreement between the city of Atoka and the state fire marshal's office.
So that is attachment number 8. This is a agreement that we have to approve, I believe, every 2 or 3 years. with
There were
the fire
3 years,
marshal.
I think.
3 years?
Yeah.
And it basically is our agreement with them that we are going to provide and assume the responsibilities of inspecting buildings and for compliance with the state fire code.
Our city buildings, right? 'Cause it's-
No, no.
Oh, I thought state buildings
All
were.
building permits that are issued in Atoka, the city issues the building permits, but the city is the one responsible for ensuring that the building is constructed in accordance with the state fire codes. Otherwise, without this agreement, in order to get a building permit in Atoka, you would have to apply to the state fire marshal's office and get the approval through them prior to coming to us for a building permit. So this helps streamline the process ever so slightly.
But what does it mean when it says this agreement does not extend to state-owned or occupied buildings?
We do not get to approve state-owned buildings. That's
Okay.
done.
They do
That's
their
what I
own
was
approval, they do
asking.
their
Yeah,
own
they do
approval.
their own.
That's
Fire
what I was
marshal comes and
asking.
does those
Okay.
themselves, because it's a state agency.
Okay,
Almost to approve.
I'll second.
Motion is second, roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Item number 11, discussion and/or action to approve or reject the payment to HCCCO for pay application number 7 in the amount of $129,200. $64,600 will be reimbursed by the CDBG Headworks grant.
That's on attachment number 9, and the other 50% is paid out of the ARPA grant.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Item number 12, discussion and/or action on ordinance number 612, amending Part 12, Planning, Zoning, and Development of Atoka City Code of Atoka, Oklahoma, 2020, Section 12-224.1, building facades in residential and commercial districts, providing for repealer, servability, and declaring an emergency. Now,
This,
go ahead.
this is,
Clarification.
we had discussed this at the last meeting, with Mr. Eves. You guys are all aware, we've had so many issues with our facade ordinance for so long because it was poorly drafted and not well executed. So, this is the first step in going back to the drawing board on that. We're going to repeal that, and I'm working through some drafts on different options that we can use to move that forward.
So in the meantime, nothing happens until
I
everything.
am a big proponent of the facade ordinance, so I will be bringing you something, some
Take your time.
options back, probably quickly, so. Few
But
months,
if they
I would
can,
say.
if they build it here in the next 2 weeks,
No.
then there's no ordinance, and they can
Can't.
build what they want.
Yes.
If they apply for a building license and they have all their documentation, they could.
Correct.
Almost to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Motion is second, roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Item 13, discussion and/or action declaring ordinance number 612 an emergency.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion is second, roll call, please.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Item 14, discussion and/or action on ordinance number 613, amending Part 12, Planning, Zoning, and Development of the Atoka City Code of Atoka, Oklahoma, 2020 to amend Chapter 4, amending 12.40510, and adding a new section 12.423.1, regulating lot splits, defining administrative procedures for lot splits approvals, providing for penalties, providing for repealers and servability, and declaring an emergency.
This is, I think we've discussed this in the past. I know the mayor and I have, and he had requested that I put this together and present it to the council. This is an ordinance that would regulate how lots are split up in the city limits. We've had a lot of issues in the past, especially with the commercial development that's going on along the highway, with individuals kind of just getting a wild hair and surveying a little tract here and selling it, and then not being able to provide access, utilities, and those types of things to it. And this is designed to help prevent some of that ahead of time, so that planning is done prior to, you know, the company now wanting to start construction and realizing we don't have what we need to get that done.
Right.
What this says is anybody who wants to split a tract of land into two different parcels within the city limits has to get city approval first, and it can be done administratively by the city manager. If the city manager doesn't feel that it meets the requirements, then he would, or if he doesn't want to make the decision, he can bump it to the Planning and Zoning Commission, who can approve it, and then it will come to the council, much like all planning and zoning actions do. So ultimately, it would set before you on whether or not to approve it.
So it's written in there that it'll go to Danny first?
Yeah, it goes to
Is that something,
or his
It's
designee.
news to me, but that's okay.
It goes to Danny or his designee, so if he wants
Okay.
to just send
Okay.
everything, it's up to him.
yeah,
I just wanted it to be easy for people.
mhm,
So if it's
Yeah.
kind of a run-of-the-mill, like, hey, I'm giving my neighbor 5 feet because our fence is in the wrong spot, I don't want them to have to go through a big, long
Yeah.
process to
Right.
do that. It's something easy. We're not dealing with utilities or, you know, services to a property. But, if we are,
I'll probably be consulting with you a lot on it.
but, you know, if it is a commercial development on the highway and we're having issues with that, you know, we wanna make sure ahead of time that all of the infrastructure is in place and ready to go before we start approving these. And this is consistent with what we already do for plats. If you wanna plat a subdivision, you already have to get it approved by the council,
Right.
or planning and zoning, but
Mhm.
ultimately council. And people are getting around, trying to get around that process by not platting it. And so we're not ever getting council approval, so we're not ever making sure that we've got proper access, proper engineering, proper stormwater, all of those types of things, so.
Well, proper fire and life safety
Mhm.
access for
I mean,
emergency vehicles
It's
and
important
so
to
on and so
note
forth.
that this ordinance doesn't apply retroactively, obviously, so what's done is done. It's only will apply to properties
end.
moving forward.
mhm.
I think I did put an effective date in here of the later of August 1st, or the date the ordinance was filed in the land records, putting people on notice that it exists. So August 1st is when it will go into effect.
I recommend approving,
I'll second.
Motion is second, roll call, please.
Ms. McGee,
yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Item 15, discussion and/or action declaring ordinance number 613 an emergency.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second,
Motion is second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Item number 16, discussion and/or action on establishing and constructing certain bus stops within the city of Atoka.
I asked for this to be on here
Yep.
because we are working on that autonomous vehicle project, and one of the things we need is bus stops.
How many are you trying to get?
Bus stops?
Yeah, how many? Do you know?
Well, a handful. So, the first stop is,
So if there's a handful, that's 5 fingers, that's at least 5? See, I did that math?
let me think, 1,
Within the
2,
city?
3, 4, 5. 5 on the day route. 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on the night route that will feed into the day route. So 10, 11, 12, something like that. I know I didn't add that up right, but
And they stop at all the
So-
daycares and stuff too,
No,
don't they? Oh, this
no,
in the school,
no.
you're not talking about the school?
no, this is just going to be that it's supposed to be an autonomous vehicle that runs from Pilot to Walmart, down to Alliance Health, over to Inca, and then we want a spot down here on California somewhere
So you're
along the
not talking
route.
about school buses, I'm sorry.
No, the,
Okay.
remember
That's
the,
a- yeah,
the
yeah, I
vehicle
know
that we
what
had
you're saying,
saying,
yeah.
So we want a
So it
spot,
wouldn't be for GM also, it would just be for those vehicles?
it would just be for these vehicles,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And so what they wanna do is they wanna put in signage and benches. But I told them that they were probably gonna have to pour a slab of concrete everywhere.
There you'll lose
Because-
benches.
That's one, yeah, and we have to have them AD accessible.
Yeah.
So,
And the sidewalks are all, have to be AD accessible.
everything has to be ADA. So, right now, we are sitting at square one with the bus stops. The only place that has said, yes, no problem, is Walmart. And so, I've gotta get out there this week to go over where we can put it out there. Pilot has denied it. I wanted the spot, you know, that field that's behind Taco Mile, right next to the bank. There's a big empty lot. And Mike said he owns that, nope. So, which I kinda understood, you know, if he wants to build something back there,
Yeah.
it'd be kinda hard if I had a big.
Well, it's gonna be on the curb, right?
Well, we
Yes,
need to- I
it's
mean-
right at the
And
curb.
that's within the setbacks anyway, you couldn't
Well-
build anything on that.
I wondered that, and so that was
Well,
what.
I think first of all, what would be helpful is to have a rendering of what that would
Yeah.
look like,
Right.
to know the size. Are we talking about just a bench? Are we talking about a bench with a protective top on it?
No, just a bench.
Okay, and the
Just
sign
a-
says bus stop.
The
right?
vines, yes.
So, but again, even though there's a curb there, it has to be ADA, so
Yes,
it has to be.
so I have to be able to
So
put a
you gotta
ramp.
have at least, I mean, you're putting more than just a bench, cause you're gonna have 5 to 6 feet of concrete.
Correct.
So,
We had, I would think like church parking lots would be easy.
It would be, but there is no church back there unless I drive down to, Methodist. And so what they're trying to do is make an efficient route at that,
Gotcha.
to get them downtown. And so downtown, I thought about, you know, by the bank, you know, they have all the ADA, you know, we have all the ADA ramps that are going into the crosswalk. So all I need is a bench somewhere close by, one of those. So what we need is approval to work with Danny to establish actual bus stops.
do we have a certain dollar amount of cost?
It doesn't cost anything. The
They're-
grant will
they're
pay for
pay for
everything.
all,
It'll
yeah.
pay for the concrete, it'll pay for, and that was what we were talking about in one of the meetings that Susan had asked you about was, could your guys put it in? But the grant pays for it all. So I was just trying to make it where it was most cost effective and everybody got a little, you know, city got something out of it. But
So you're talking about 11 possible sites?
11 possible sites.
What kind of time frame are y'all looking at?
Well, they're on a short time frame because they need to go ahead and buy the benches and have at least some of this in the works. But none of us know what we're doing, so we are, I'm just gonna be honest, we don't, this is brand new for me because we don't have fixed routes. We don't do this. I mean, we do demand, we go to the house.
Yeah.
We don't have to have bus stops along the way, so I have been trying to talk to all the businesses that we wanted to set up by, so that way, and this has been going on for 2 or 3 weeks, something like that, trying to get them on board. Like I said, I think that they'll be receptive, maybe if we can get one stop in, so that way they can see that this isn't just some big thing that we're just sticking out there, it is literally a nice bench
Well,
that
what's
people
gonna
can sit
happen is-
on.
Once it gets established, all the businesses are gonna say, why didn't I get one?
I know.
Well, I mean,
And I would
but-
love to put one everywhere, we would love to stop everywhere in town. But this project's been going on since Carol was here 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I know I was pregnant when we
Yeah.
started messing with this.
been a
And
while.
so, they want to launch this next summer, but they're on a tight time frame. We are counting down because it's been difficult to get us going. So, that's why we've got the surveys out, and we are just trying to find, you know, the code book says basically the council can approve for bus stops. But it's real vague. It doesn't have like, okay, you can have this, you can have 4 square feet, you can have it on setback. It doesn't say any of that. So going forward, we just need approval to be able to do this project.
Well, and you know, it just depends on how wide some of these roads are. If you had money for surveys, you know, we might could fit it on city right of way if we.
Well, I was gonna ask you about easements and stuff.
We just don't really know what we don't always
Got it.
know what the right of way is.
Hey,
That's what
we,
I was
we
like,
just own a brand new property up on High School Hill. I mean,
Yes,
that's
exactly.
that's
Where the elementary
close.
was?
Yeah.
With
That is
the-
not in the route, though.
This just in.
Unfortunately.
So I mean, tonight you're just asking for,
I'm asking for approval to work with Danny to establish these bus stops. That way we can start moving forward and Danny can give us the approval that, yes, we can put it in this patch of grass that's on
Well, I have
this
to
set.
Are
check
we
with
gonna
Johnny and
need
see
to-
if we
But,
can
yes.
legally.
yeah, I mean, that's, well, you have to
But-
confer with both.
Right,
So
so,
we have to come back to the councils on where
well, that's
they're
what
gonna
I'm,
go?
that's what I'm wondering is do you, cause my plan was to come in here with a list of this is where they're gonna go. But
Okay.
it's very difficult to get that list. So right now, I have Walmart on board, and y'all don't have to approve that, Walmart does.
Well,
So-
it's just figuring out, I think, number one, what it's gonna look like, having those kind of things
Okay,
for
so
him to
one
look at.
thing is that it's gonna be nice. It's not going, it's gonna be a bench that, you know, anybody could sit on.
Is it gonna be like a 2-person or
Yes,
3-person?
2 or 3 people that can sit. It's not gonna be real big because, you know, you don't want a whole bunch of
Yeah.
people sleeping on them.
I was gonna say, can you sleep on it?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Well, that's.
But
me and
it'll
Gene
have
were
the,
talking
it
about
should have like the
yeah.
rails in there and stuff like that. And of course, when I put something downtown, you know, downtown, we wanna make sure that it's very nice and it
Oh,
complements what we already have down there.
Yeah.
And the whole point of stopping downtown is because of all our new stuff, you know, our stage, our, you know, I want people to be able to
All the
ride
businesses.
from Pilot down to downtown and go to the stage.
Mhm.
But, like I said, getting everybody on board, I had one person tell me, you know, I don't really think I wanna ride in a vehicle that doesn't have a driver. And I was just like, yeah, you're not gonna ride in it probably.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? If I could go for lunch and just hop on there and run.
Well, I think they're gonna
It'll be
have a
fun.
driver until, it's gonna be
Yeah,
a
they'll have
driver when they
they'll have a
start.
pilot, they'll have a pilot in it when it
Yeah.
starts.
Yeah, when they
Oh, I
start.
don't wanna
When we
ride it.
start,
Yeah.
until,
I
cause you
want
have
the
to,
novelty.
you have to train the vehicle to be able to do this, you know, so we're gonna have to train
But they're
it.
not there
We're
yet,
gonna have to
Johnny.
run it a few times where we miss our
Believe
stops,
me,
or we
I got
miss
to
our
ride
time
it.
frames,
So
or,
did they ever decide if they're gonna have to have some kind of special paint down or anything?
not that we know of, not
Okay.
yet. Cause see, that was
That was
what,
one of the discussions, remember,
was
at
that we
first?
might have to have paint.
Yeah.
But I don't think, right now, I haven't heard about paint since last time we talked about it.
So we all need to be looking as we're driving around and shooting you some text messages if we see a place that might.
Yes, because right now the strip is, okay, so we have to be on the back road. So the only part of the highway that we're on is from Virginia to Walmart. And then we'll go to Walmart and then scoot over to Pilot and then come back down and get back on Virginia. And then they want us to go the back way, so they're going across, eventually it'll hit one of those streets over there, so it's either
Let's do this,
Montana-
let's talk about this, then you can send out maps of what the routing's gonna be,
Okay.
then that way everybody can kinda be looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then,
So-
and then it would come back to the council and we'd approve the routing
Correct.
of it, right?
Well, the routing's the routing,
Yeah.
but
I
the
mean,
location of the stops.
locations of the
Yeah,
stops,
the
yeah.
location of the stops would be
We'll come
something I
back.
think we could probably come back and Danny look and get numbers together and let everybody know what it is,
What your
just so the
paths
council knows it's
Yeah.
going.
Be looking and me and
I
Johnny
know,
could
that's
talk
the,
towards-
you know, they've been sending those maps out, maybe
I've seen 'em.
Susan's getting the maps.
Have you got the maps?
I don't have it saved on my computer, but
Okay.
It'll
I think
be
they
from
sent it
the
in an email.
meeting moments.
We can get a copy of it.
Okay.
So
So,
right now, we're just approving the, establishing and constructing of the bus stop.
Right, and then once, like I said, if I can just work with Danny on making, you know, and then we'll get together and put a list together and bring it back and say, okay, this is where they're gonna go.
Okay.
Okay, well,
So there's really not anything to do tonight.
we don't need to make that and do anything with that?
I don't really think that there's.
No, I
Okay.
think we just need to
Action.
determine the
Okay.
route and start figuring out
okay,
where we can get them.
Okay,
you'll figure it out.
and I know
when
you've
you
got a
guys-
lot going on, so, but, you know, they're wanting to do.
Pass
the
that to Gene.
All right. Okay, moving along. Is there any new business? Any council comments? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion is second, roll call please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Poe,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. All right, as we move into the next meeting of the evening, the Atoka Municipal Authority, would you call roll please?
Ms. Poe,
Here.
Mr. Turner, Mr. Sherrill,
Here.
Ms. McGee,
Here.
Mr. Kathy,
Here. This is public comment time. See anything that's not on the posted agenda, you may address the board at this time. Hearing none, we'll move down to the business agenda. Item number 1, discussion and/or action regarding approving or rejecting the minutes of the meeting of June 16th, 2025.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
And motion second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Item number 2, discussion and/or possible action on approving the chairman to sign all required documents should we be awarded a rig grant for a replacement truck for the wastewater supervisor, 2 replacement lift station pumps for our main lift station behind the cell barn, and 2 replacement pumps for the Bonner lift station. Total cost from the quotes is $122,401. The rig grant would be in the amount of $97,920.80, leaving AMA responsible for the remaining $24,480.20.
You did a good job on that.
Mr. Delay, how many rig grants have you now received for the city of Atoka?
Actually, I've got a copy of that.
Just-
7.
A lot. It's
I'm
good.
curious, cause he's had, I mean, you've gotten them back to back, right?
Yeah, I've got 7 in a row.
7 in a row.
Don't jinx
I
us.
currently hold the record. Thank you very much.
Don't jinx us.
So but don't jinx us. We're going for 8.
Yeah. All right.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Amen. Roll call, please.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Number 3, discussion and/or action to approve or reject the payment to HCCCO for pay application number 7 in the amount of $129,200. $64,600 will be reimbursed by the ARPA Headworks grant.
And this 50% will be paid by the CDBG grant.
Okay.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Have a motion second, roll call, please.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Is there any trustee comments? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion second, roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Heading into our last meeting of the evening, the Atoka City Industrial Development Authority, would you call roll, please?
Ms. McGee,
Here.
Mr. Turner, Ms. Pogue,
Here.
Mr. Sherrill,
Here.
Mr. Kathy,
Here. This is the public comment time. This is anything that's not on the post agenda. You may address the board at this time.
Sorry, my apologies. I really meant to send in and put it on the agenda, but it got stuck in my drafts a couple weeks ago and never got on the agenda. But I just thought I'd still come and address you guys. So I'm with Second Saturday downtown Atoka. That does the vendors markets every second Saturday.
I'm sorry, I don't know who you are.
Oh, Heather Gabory.
Okay.
So I'm with,
Okay.
I'm also, my other hat, I'm the chamber director
Okay.
for the county chamber. But separate from that, I'm also doing the second Saturday downtown Atoka markets. So originally, back in September of '24, back when Carol was still here, we got approved for all the dates. And then with the stage coming and the changes, and we moved, we made that work on the plaza. And now with the stage hopefully being done, we're hoping to go back to the green space. Two of those dates were already approved from the application I submitted way back when. I didn't bring it with me, but they do have it on file. But our thought is, as the stage is being opened, I just wanna know if it'll cost us more to utilize the stage for local entertainment than what's already been decided upon, just to use the green space for the markets. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I will come back and get that on the agenda officially
Okay.
if need be. Or is this something that we can just deal with city manager on? I don't know. So,
Well,
I
let
think
me address that
We
so we
talked
don't
about it.
run
Violate.
afoul of
Yeah.
the Open Meetings Act.
Mhm.
Once the stage is completed, the council will have to set a fee schedule for use of that facility. I believe we have already put together something for the green space, but I will figure out what that is, and we will put it on the agenda so that you can discuss that with them.
Okay,
But they can't discuss that with you
Yeah.
tonight, because then they would be breaking the law and be guilty of a misdemeanor, which I do not want them to be
No,
guilty
I don't
of,
either.
So that's why he's here. That's why we pay him to get
no,
money.
you're good, and that's why I was like,
You
I'll
can't
just
get us out of
come.
jail.
I cannot give you a
That's why I was just like, I'm just gonna come anyways and put it on there and introduce myself, so, that's just what we're working with. So we're hoping that, it's been really successful, and we're hoping that it continues to be successful, so,
Do you want it on the next?
yes. Yeah. July 21st.
City of Atoka. We want that on City of Atoka.
On City of Atoka.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else, public comments? Hearing none? Y'all are welcome if you want. I know you've been a long day if you want. I know it's riveting to stay here and watch this, but if you'd like to get a 2 or 3 minute head start on us, feel free to. Y'all. Yes, thank you,
guys.
thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right, item number 1, discussion and/or action regarding approving or rejecting the minutes of the meeting of June 16th, 2025.
I recommend approving.
I'll second.
Motion second, roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Item number 2, discussion and/or action regarding accepting or rejecting the Economic Development Director's report. Mr. D-Lay?
That is on attachment number 2, if anyone has any questions. I might add that I talked to Tom with Wall Engineering today, and he's working on, some of the design of the road out there as we speak.
Yep. Ready.
motion to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion second, roll call, please.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy,
Yes. Is there any trustee comments? Hearing none, do I hear motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
A motion second, roll call, please.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Ms. McGee,
Yes.
Ms. Pogue,
Yes.
Mr. Kathy.
Yes.
I thought you had extra stuff.
We are adjourned for
Yeah,
the
I'm
evening.
waiting on my-
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Hey,